Let's start with your buy low spot of the weekend. BJ, what you got?
Yeah, this is more of a kind of a buy low spot, kind of looking forward. I would say it's kind of painful to say this, but and since we are, a betting show, I think Nebraska is a team that's going to be a live dog going forward. They've obviously been horrible so far this season. They haven't beaten a team inside the Ken Pom top 200. But the last game against Indiana, you really can make a case that they maybe should have came back and won that game. They hung in there the whole time. They've been pretty good in Lincoln. They took Ohio State to overtime. They hung with Purdue for 30 minutes. They have a couple scorers in Verge and McGowan's. It's a team that, listen, they can't defend the three to save their life. They can't shoot the three to save life. And they're a horrible rebounding team. But there's a couple spots coming up where they have Wisconsin and Rutgers, which are two teams at both of those at home that really won't be able to, shoot the three on them and are not that great of rebounding teams. So Nebraska, they've been really, really bad. They don't have a Big Ten win yet, but I do think that they'll be a good underdog play going forward, especially in Lincoln.
Yeah, I don't mind that, especially as they search for their first Big Ten win, right? Mm-hmm. No one wants to bet Nebraska. So, there's a lot of good teams in the Big Ten. So I think that you can get them in spots where they have value. I think Tuesday against Wisconsin and Rutgers are both good ones. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they won either one of those games, but this is still going to be a hungry team as they search for their first Big Ten win. So yeah, I don't hate that call at all. I have to go, and this one is brutal, but I think I have to buy low on Texas. And Texas, they just lost at home to Kansas State. Before that, they lose in a disappointing game at Iowa State. But I mean, Iowa State pretty fortunate in that game. And then, they 2 games before that, they lost to Oklahoma State on the road by 13. Just a really poor performance. You got a revenge spot here. You got Texas off 2 losses, including a horrible home loss to Kansas State. Although Kansas State's been playing a lot better now and fully healthy. But Oklahoma State, it's worth mentioning, this Texas team, look, they've kind of been, they had some COVID. They've had guys in and out of the lineup. So I think that as far as the perception and market, that this is close to the low, I think, as you're going to get with them. And Oklahoma State is, a team that can't go to the postseason, right? They can't go to the NCAA tournament this year. So I think in bad spots, it's just, they're not going to fight. So I think if they're getting blown out, if you look at they're 3-3 in the Big 12. Texas is 3-3. Oklahoma State's 3 losses, West Virginia by 10, Texas Tech by 21, and Kansas by 11. And then Texas's 3 wins were, Kansas State by 13, West Virginia by 15, and Oklahoma by 14. So I can see if Texas comes out of the gates firing, Oklahoma State, I think, just goes away. This is a fully focused max effort spot for Texas at home in a revenge spot. Just a game they really need. And I mean, the projected spread on KenPom is 7. I would love to get that. I think Texas wins by double digits here. And, they force a lot of turnovers. Oklahoma State will cough up the ball a ton. And, I think it's a really good spot to buy low on Texas. If they can't get this done here, major problems for Beard. So that's my look on buy low. How about let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Anyone you're looking to sell this weekend or moving forward?
Yeah, this one's a bit ugly. I'm going to sell high on Davidson this weekend. They're playing Fordham on the road. I know this is going to be a tough one, but it's a sandwich.
I'm the president of the Fade Davidson fan club, and our meetings, we hold them on the under a bridge. We're all homeless.
Yeah.
We warm up. We have fires. We burn trash, and if you're sounds like you're interested in joining, so it
sounds like a great time, honestly, because that's where I'm probably going to end up after this game. Fordham's not that great of a team, but they are a decent defense. They defend the 3 well and everything. Their offense just is terrible. But Davidson, they're second in the country. They're just in 3-point percentage. They're shooting the absolute lights out, over 42% from behind the arc. But there is no way they can keep this type of pace up given the quality of shots that they have. And defensively, they do have some flaws. You know, they allow 35% from behind the arc. They don't rebound the ball that well. Offensively, they're outside the top 280 in both offensive rebounding and free throw rate. You know, they're bottom 20% in college basketball in points per possession allowed in half court man-to-man defense. So with
they're very soft on defense.
Coming off a 2-point win on the road at VCU, then they're gonna have to play them again next week. This is a weird sandwich spot for them. They also have the Bonnies, I believe in the hole coming up in a few weeks. This is pretty much the definition of a sandwich spot for a team that's just really just shooting way above where they should be. And it's not like they're a badge 3-point shooting team, but 42%, come on, they can't keep that up throughout the entire season. So, and Fordham, they are a decent defense. So Ken Palm has a spread projected at -8 right now. I hope it's 8, and I'll be probably plugging my nose and taking the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, Fordham's missing it. Antonio Day is out for the year, which is a big loss. But the spot, I cannot disagree with you. I don't know if I'm going to build up the courage, but like Davidson beat Richmond on the road on a buzzer beater, and then they beat Davidson. Then they beat VCU on the road, same city, and they do that in the final seconds. They were down 6. I think they finished the game on an 8-0 run late, like 2 huge conference road wins, and then you go up to Fordham. So it is for sure a sleepy spot on Saturday afternoon in Rose Hill Gym in New York. So can't disagree with the spot. For my sell high spot, I'm going to go with Texas Tech. It's kind of a buy low, but Texas Tech's treated me well. Like last week when I read up these spot speeds, last week I had Kansas State, and then I wrote up, all right, we're betting them against Iowa State. And then they blow out Iowa State. And now they, everything is right again in Red Raider land. And now they're going to be, hopefully 8-point favorites at home against West Virginia. Good spot to get West Virginia off back-to-back losses. They played Baylor tough. They just couldn't make a layup, and they cannot make layups this year for whatever reason. I assume they're eventually going to start falling, but they have guys who can make jumpers, and they can live in the mid-range a little bit. Similar defense to Baylor, so I think that's a good precursor game. This core in West Virginia, they won a ton of road games in the Big 12 last year. I mean, they beat everyone in the league, including Texas Tech. They swept Texas Tech, and they scored at will against the Red Raiders in both meetings. Noon start kind of subdues that elite Texas Tech Lubbock home court advantage a little bit, which I think will help West Virginia here. West Virginia is not turning it over much, which also helps against Texas Tech. Texas Tech does have a little bit of turnover issues. They also struggle at the line, big time, which is really important in these games that are 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because if it's a 7 to 8, 9, 10-point game late and West Virginia fouls and it hits a 3 and then you split, you miss the front ends. Because these are two teams that also like to get to the line. Texas Tech is failing a lot more frequently. You could see Texas Tech being in just a 1-on-1 late, and those can swing covers. So I think it's a good spot to get Texas Tech here. And by the way, Texas Tech just beat Iowa State, got their revenge, came out, everything looked great. They got Kansas on Monday for a shot at first place. So this is kind of a little bit of a sleepy spot at noon on Saturday. So let's go with the ears and Honey Bear.